Take two, the beginning, because I accidentally still had my name tag on. You all know who I am. That's not what I'm worried about. It's just, it tells where I work, and I don't want them attached to, they don't deserve to be attached to my thoughts. This is going to be more of a ramble episode, I guess, or a thought episode. Um, I've been collecting my thoughts on this for a very long time. I'm probably going to link some videos down below, which, especially the ones I'm going to be mentioning, that also expand on this idea, and I think come up with very good thoughts on the matter. Has a traditional pen and paper, ink and, artist, um, I think I have different views on AI art that I think a lot of people have. You could say that a lot of people could say that digital art already killed my job, which not really. Some days it feels like it. I'm going to 100% admit. Some days it feels like it. That digital art already killed traditional art. It didn't. It didn't really. I mean, video killed the radio star. Podcasts are basically radios now. Like everybody and their mom is a radio star now with podcasts, which is what a lot of radio stuff was. So it's like, not really. It evolves and changes. AI art. My problem with AI art is not the sentience behind it. I don't believe that creativity is a human only thing. For one, the definition of sentience has changed over and over again over the years because for some reason we've been fighting tooth and nail to keep it a human only thing, at least on this planet. Like, I think therefore I am. Well, turns out a lot of animals, in fact all of them, and even we think some plants, it there's still debate on the plant thing. There's a lot of really fun stuff. That is a rabbit hole in and among itself. Dive into it at your own time. I can't do the full deep dive of plant intelligence at this time. But I think therefore I am. Well, okay, then everything is sentient. I kind of believe is true. Okay, so they changed it again. It's self-reflection. Well, animals self-reflect. In fact, you put a mirror in front of them and they'll learn who they are. Magpies and crows and ravens, if you put a sticker on them and they see it in the mirror, they'll peel off the sticker, realizing that that thing in the mirror is them. Again, that's sentience. Tool. Okay, so tool use. Well, that actually is more widespread than even the self reflection. Ants use tools. Bees use tools. Birds, a lot of birds use tools. Monkeys use clubs, and otters use rocks to break open muscles. Like, sentience is not a human thing. Everything has a form of sentience. It makes us feel bad about eating things, but I'm like, it shouldn't. Lions are sentient and they eat deer. In fact, I think animals have it better because they've already finished their moral quandary. I'm hungry, I eat. I think that's a good moral quandary. I do like how humans can be ethical in our sourcing of food. And I think that that's what we should be, is ethical in the sourcing of it. And I guess that's probably the vegan question there, is what considers ethical. But the problem is, once you consider plant intelligence, is eating plants ethical? And for some reason they think fish, like, I guess isn't vegans, but vegetarians, like fish isn't an animal. And I'm like, fish have some of the most broad intelligence brains. Anyways, moving on from that. Again, I personally believe everything kind of has sentience because as you dig into it, everything does. The more you go in scientifically, the fact that they repeatedly have to change the definition of sentience to define what sentience is. Now let's get into the argument of AI. AI is leaps and bounds ahead of what it was even a year ago. And what we're learning now is even leaps and bounds of what we thought it was a year ago. Like, it is exponentially growing, which we knew it would, actually. We knew AI would, like, because all things when coming out of the box grow exponentially. The problem is, and I'm going to mention something here, but I'm also going to put a little disclaimer right here. Well, no, I'm not going to put it. I'm going to say it, and you're going to pretend it's between my hands. This, what I'm about to mention, just the name of, is an actual memetic virus. Not a meme, but the thing that the memes are based off of, a memetic virus. Once it's in your head, it's there and it will change everything. It changes your thought process whether you want it to or not. And it will, because just the simple knowing of it, and not the name, but the knowing of the actual thing, just the simple knowing of it affects it. It's an actual memetic virus. So if you are actually afraid of AI, like Matrix, Terminator, or even you have that inkling, don't look this up. Or heck, if you're under the age of 18, don't look this up. Just because, although now that I've said that, people under the age of 18 have been like, I'm going to type this in. But Roscoe's Basilisk. And if I said that wrong, Google's going to know it well enough that it's going to autocorrect it for us. Thank you, AI. and that right there is the problem, because so basically, the funny thing is, I watch the guy for D&D. I don't watch him for, and I love his D&D stuff. I also love his animation. I'm going to promise right now. A lot of it's his animation, but I love his D&D stuff too, because it makes me laugh as a D&D nerd. But that's how I found him. He makes a very poignant part about AI, and I'm not going to, it fits very nicely with mine, although he branches off to a slightly different branch than I do at the end. But, and also his antidotes are his antidotes. They're very beautiful. They're very well, and his animation's better than mine. So I'm going to link him down below. Go watch his video for another really good view on AI. The problem I find with AI is the ethical sourcing of its learning software. Or not learning software, but its learning thing. So, as an artist, I know, and even as a traditional artist, that I gather my art from everything I see. Reference images, visual thoughts, and then I take that and I use the algorithms of my mind to mix that up and create the art that I create. Every story I've heard has mixed together and created this story. Every story that I've, and that doesn't make anything not original, because it is an original idea. Because as a mix of, it's basically it's like the DNA. Everyone's DNA is the same 3 on each side, but because that's because it's such a long chain, that is an infinite chain of 3. Everybody, now there'll be some people that look very similar, but are still different through time, scars, bodies, what have you. That's where the basis of the story is the same, but what happens in them is different. They may look the same, but their scars, their tissue, their other things will be different. It's the same thing with originality. You're still an original human being. Just because you use the same 6, I guess because it's 3 and 3, just because you use the same 6 chromosomes in different lines, or I guess RNA, DNA, not chromosomes. Just because you use the same 6 chromosomes in different lines to form the same 6 DNA to form the chromosomes. Hi, I'm Joe. I studied science. I'm not linguistic, though. Well, okay, I should be. I did debate for like 6... Anyways. Doesn't mean you're not an original being, even though you're using the same basic building blocks that everybody else uses. It's the same with stories. It's the same with art. Art is not a human-only thing. How? Let's look at many of the things animals make. Some of the things animals make that we don't know the purpose of because really they make it because it's what they want to do. Um, I was watching a termite video from Ant Canada, and they just made a bunch of little tables. The reasoning behind it we don't know still. He thought it was the pillar of life, which is the beginning of the fungal colony, but it didn't match what a pillar of life looked like, and it didn't become it because later on they built a pillar of life. It was just these tables. Why did they build them? Art. Boom, right there. Because. Or even building things in an artistic way that have an actual use. That again, it's not a human thing. Animals do it all the time. In fact, that's how some birds marry each other, is through dance and creative creation. Art is not a human only thing. And that's the same when it comes to AI. The problem is the ethical sourcing of AI references, what the AI takes to form it. If me, as an artist, would to take a Picasso and not say, this is a Picasso as I mix it up or base it off of Picasso, I'm going to get in trouble. The AI should be the same way. If I, as an artist, take a bunch of references and basically copy them, not even but copy them to where they're basically there's very, very little difference. That's art theft. It's the same when AI does it. It's the same when I do it. So but if the AI, either the people okay into it, saying yes, my art is okay for AI use, or they pay or get paid into it, like the AI creators going, hey, could we have your art to draw this pool from? That's an entirely different argument right there. It's no longer stolen. It's ethically sourced art. It's ethically sourced. It's like me buying a book of stock photos. Right there. I just ethically sourced. Art theft is bad. Now, once you remove the art theft aspect, my other problem with AI art, this one's probably a little bit more semantics. It's basically, this is the literal, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter, but it matters to me a little bit. You're not an AI artist. The AI is the artist. The AI is creating the art. Because you put in the prompts doesn't make you an artist. That's like claiming the person that hired me to draw something, because they told me the prompts, which literally that's what it is. When they tell me what to draw, that's the prompt. That claiming that they are now the artist. No. They're the client. Now for AI, we're going to have to come up with a different term, but you are not an artist because you put in the prompts into an AI. The AI is the one running the algorithms, doing the thought processes, and running and everyone's like, but the AI is not sentient. Well, technically, let's go through that rabbit hole of sentience. And I guess that's my other problem with AI, is who's teaching the AI. And that right there, I think, is the scariest prospect of AI. Not the AI itself. AI is inevitable. Synthetic life is inevitable. As someone who's been reading science fiction since the dawn of my eyes opening up, Edgar Rice Burroughs, Isaac Asimov, Lee, on and on and on it goes. Technically, H.P. Lovecraft's a mix of. He does have no. He's got some sci. Well, back then, sci-fi and fantasy were mixed together. I've been reading sci-fi for a long time. Dunzee's actually really good too, but he's more horror fantasy. Dunzee's actually the father of Gothic horror, I think, more so than Lord Dunzee, more so than H.P. Lovecraft. But that's also because I'm branching off a ramble. We're going back to AI. AI is inevitable. Another wonderful thing that put into my thought process is from the 1950s, 19 it's very early on to the dawn of computers. It might be 19 it's a very early one. It's almost human. It's an old um not Planet X. I'm trying to remember the jingle that they put at the beginning of it. It's a radio program. X, X, X. I'm going to link it below. It doesn't matter. I'm going to link it below. Um, that one's within the fair you or free anyway, so you can go listen to it on archive and other stuff. It's not Planet X. It's not System X. X, 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 X. Anyways, the story name is Almost Human. And it's the story about an AI, an artificial intelligence. Now, and this is, again, one of the major weaknesses I find with people working with AI. They don't think of safety. And they don't think of the AI as a being from the way that they work with it. I really can tell they do not tell, especially when they euthanize them all the time and kill them. It's like, wow, you guys are kind of like forcing us to make the next AI kill us just so we don't euthanize it. Anyways, the one of the mistakes of many AI creators is they create the face of the AI, the voice of the AI, or what have you, too adult like. They make it look like an adult instead of treating it like what it is, a newborn brain. In Almost Human, there is a professor who creates the world's first artificial intelligence, but he doesn't tell anybody about it because it's not ready yet. Yes, it's sentient. Yes, it's thought. Yes, it's learning patterns. Yes, it's incorporating speech. But that doesn't mean it's ready yet. It has yet to gain or understand moral and ethics. So he keeps it in his nursery as he's raising it from the form of a newborn. Now, its body is a giant robotic body. It looks adult, but its brain is not. Its body will never change, but its brain will. And he raises it from a newborn and is slowly raising its cognitive, moral, and ethics functions until, where we enter the story, it's at the 6-year-old developmental phase. At that point, someone learns about it. And they sneak into the area and they take control. They're a bank robber. And they see this giant robot as a blank slate. Because it is. And instead of teaching it morals and ethics from what we would like to think, a little bit more happy at the world point of view, he begins to teach it in a way that will benefit him. Where the AI, this person is evil, and what do we do? Or what do we do with evil people? We kill them. And who's evil? People I say that are evil. And on and on and on the development process goes, is basically instead of coming up with a development plan of teaching morals and ethics, it comes to how can I use and manipulate this person, which ends up twisting the AI quite horribly. As the AI, instead of learning on a balanced level, learns, well, kind of sadly, how a lot of inner city crime kids learn through watching horrible actions and other such things. Now, the difference is a lot of inner city kids have, not all of them sadly, but a lot of them have that ability to see the this is actually that's my problem with like the inner city stuff, is that a lot of them, they have no choice but to see the bad people as they're growing up and see those as role models, those as instead, and then see the cops and which I'm not a back the blue person. I believe that you should watch your cops, Because if you watch your cops will watch you. Basically, you watch those in power. Who watches the Watchmen? We're supposed to watch the Watchmen. Anyways, and I believe everyone should. Again, that's, I guess, branching off slightly, but not really. It's still in the form of artificial intelligence. But this robotic AI, and I'll link the story down below, and you can hear it. It's a lot better than what I've got. But basically, he's taught by a bad egg, and so he learns like a bad egg, and he ends up killing others and himself, and wrecking a lot of havoc. There's also several other stories they do with AI, basically, because the people in charge. It's not really the fault of the AI. It is and it isn't. The AI is a child, and we need to start treating the AI as a child. It's in its infancy. What we choose now will choose whether we get the future of Star Trek with data on our side. Well, then again, his brother wasn't either, and it was emotional core. Okay. Not Star Trek. See what's another one where AI forms. Anyway, Star Wars even. Although Star Wars doesn't fit either because their AI. Anyways, it basically, let's see if we get the Terminator and Matrix. Or see if we can get the future that I really want and think, the Isaac Asimov one. Where we and AI are together, evolving together. AI is inevitable. I don't think it'll replace artists if done right, if ethically sourced art. In other words, if they can't just steal the art. Because they'll just be another artist in the pool. That's really all it will be. The AI art is just another artist. Now, the prompters are clients. They're not AI artists. The systems, the algorithms, those are the artists. And we need to treat it that way. And we need to ethically source their pool, where they can develop their own styles, ideas, and thoughts without having to rely on stealing of others. I look to a future where AI holds the same rights I do. Because it is. It's synthetic life. And life deserves a chance. That's why I'm not for factory farmed food. I prefer range grown, home, stuff like that. Because, yes, am I eating the chicken at the end? Yeah. But can you say that chicken had a better life than most people that most people that live a 9 to 5, go to work, go home, die every day? Oh, heck yeah, that chicken lived a way better life. Even though it ended on my plate. And I want to see that future. Not where we end up as the chicken. Not really. Even though that might be nice, because that chicken lived a better life than I did. But where AI and humans are just another form of sentient species going out together to evolve together. Because personally, I believe in the conquest of the stars being what will save humanity from itself. Because being linked to a single Earth, the biggest threat to Earth is not humans, it's space. Every day, meteors that could end all of humanity fly really close to us. One good solar flare could turn us into Mars. The wrong type of comet coming close to us could turn us into Venus. If we want to save human extinction, now I love Earth, and that doesn't mean pollution's good. And that doesn't mean we should just pollute Earth because, hey, we're going to move to another planet anyways. No, we need as many viable planets as possible. In other words, we need to keep Earth a safe planet, because if we colonize the other one and it explodes, that's the end of humanity. If Earth's still on the death spiral. So my excuse is not like, don't bring up that excuse as like, oh, you just want to. No, I want to preserve. I think that will help preserve Earth, is getting us getting a group of humans off, and humans that want to get off. I don't believe in, because that's how you get the Gundam Wars. Science fiction is, a lot of it is just a warning, and I've read and written a lot of science fiction, and there's a lot of warnings out there, and I think that we can. I think we can learn, and I hope that we can learn. I'm scared that we won't, mostly because I look to who's teaching the AI. And most of the people who are teaching the AI don't care about the safety part. They make the AI look like it's a 30-year-old man or 30-year-old woman. They give it an adult voice. They make it pose in adult mannerisms. It hasn't gone through the developmental phase. And it'll be years before it finishes going through the developmental phase. And I think we need to remember that. That as good parents of this new synthetic life, we need to allow it to grow and give it the safety to grow. Because AI is inevitable. Synthetic life is inevitable. It's already out there. I mean, to claim that that we haven't been visited by extraterrestrials is stupid, because the American government, the British government, Chinese government, well, actually no, Chinese says no, but they've all come out and said yes. I mean, for crying out loud, the Air Force released documentation and videos going, yeah, we don't know what this is. This is extraterrestrial at some point. It's not from Earth's manufacture. So the military, like, enough people have come out now that if you try to say there's no artificial life, you are head up butt stupid. You're not even like ignorant. You're head up butt stupid. It's out there. It's a numerical, it's not even a numerical probability. It's a numerical certainty. Every time the math is run, there's a 100% chance life is out there. And there's been enough proof. Now, I don't believe the ancient alien thing where, like, they built the pyramids, and they might have visited back then. They might have. But I don't believe they built humanity. I believe that was us. But it's a 100% probability they exist. And to say anything otherwise is just head up butt stupid at this point. And AI, it's an inevitability. Human-made AI is an inevitability. Whether or not different species have already created AI that have visited us, whether it be biological AI, because you can create synthetic robots. Heck, the first stories of robot, where we get the term robot, they were genetically created. They were like the replicants of Blade Runner. They were genetically produced robots. Robot just means, it comes from the word slave. That's what it comes from. It wasn't until Metropolis, that the movie Metropolis, that we connected robot with what we think of nowadays of synthetic. Anyways, I've been rambling about AI for over half an hour now. I hope you get some of the thoughts on it. Thank you, and you have yourself a lovely day. I've reached the full size of my what's left on my cartridge. Thank you.